like it's recording, so serious. Hey, what's up, you guys? TradeFX here, back with another video. So what we're going to be discussing today is the trade that we took on EurUsd, which was a buy, and we're going to discuss everything that led to the buy, and then you'll follow me through once we go through the breakdown. So as you can see here, what I have on the screen right now is the analysis that I had on DXY, which was on the M30, which is the 30-minute time frame. So my whole reasoning for wanting to see lower prices on DXY was because we had these equal highs here, and then I wanted to see price trade into this area here, and then see lower prices to target these lows around the 93,800 level. So after seeing this on DXY, as you all know, once we see this on the dollar index, we can expect foreign currencies to do the opposite, which is to see higher prices when DXY makes lower prices. So we can see here on EurUsd, you have this liquidity pool marked out here, and we also have this buy zone here as well. So I wanted to see price trade into the zone here and then push higher, and the whole reason behind that was because we took out these stops here and then we broke the structure here. So fine, what we're going to do right now, we're going to go to the charts and then discuss everything, but I won't go to the high time frame because I already discussed what led me to start looking for buys here on EurUsd, and they basically occurred during the New York session right after the London close. So we can see here we have this candle which we initially marked out and we discussed on the previous picture that I just shown you right now. So fine, we had this liquidity pool here, and then what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna add the New York session just to show you what I mean. So let's zoom in. So what you can see here is that we have this liquidity pool, and as you can recall, we also have that liquidity pool from the downside on DXY. So I'd easily see this as an easy target. So since we're already within our sessions here, we can see we had the Asian session here. The London session is the one which I removed right now. So during the New York session, what we saw was that we created this range right here, this range low and this range high here. So what does this mean to us? We can obviously look for optimal trade entries or entries below the 50%. So we mark from the range high to the range low, and then we can see that ideally where you want to be buying is below the 50%, because that would be in a discount area. So since we're below the 50%, we have this demand level here. What we're going to be waiting for on the lower time frames is the bullish structures or buy setups, or you can also refer to them as the QM patterns, basically something like this, where you create a stop hunt, break of structure, you create an inducement, and then you come back into the lower time frame demand level in order for you to get your buy. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you will always get a QM pattern with an inducement. So in this case, you'll see on the lower time frames what we got was just a stop hunt, break of structure, a re-entry, and then a buy. We didn't get an inducement, but I was really confident with this one because of how DXY was looking. So fine, and also with the fact that we were within the New York session. So let's mark it out and then we'll go to the lower time frames. Let's see here. So as you can see here, the New York session just ended, so the Asian session is going to start very soon. Where is that? Just gonna quickly mark this one up and then label it as NYS. Let's bring it down to the bottom. Where is that? So yeah, I think this is a video which I'll be uploading after a week. Haven't uploaded in a very long time, so I should be uploading every week on Wednesdays, because I saw that most of the videos perform very well during Wednesday. So let's see, let's just quickly mark this one up before we go to the lower time frames. This is where we created that stop hunt, and then we broke the structure here, which is just a partial break of structure, and then another one here, right there. So right now I'm just going to remove this session indicators here, and then we're going to quickly go to the M30, which is where everything started. We saw a clear demand level from the M30, which was here, and then from there we saw price trade into that demand level, and then attempting to make a bullish move, but then it failed a little bit, and then it traded low. So after seeing all this, I went to the M5 and then to the M1. So on the M5, didn't really see anything other than this imbalance right here, which was supposed to be filled. So you can see the reaction that we had here from the M30 was really, it was short-lived, and then we traded lower to close this imbalance here on the M5. And then we came back and closed that imbalance. That's when we started to see this displacement to the upside. So when I got to the M1, that's when I was looking for my QM patterns here. So you can see on the M1 the imbalance also was a bit lower than the one on the M5. So on the M1 it was around here. So this was the reaction from the M5. Then we traded lower to close the M1 imbalance. Then after closing the M1 imbalance, this is still, as you can see, this pink area right here is from the M30, right? So once we got to the M1, we saw this low being made after we closed this M1 imbalance right here, and then we took out that low, and then from there we broke the structure, signaling to us that we are possibly going to see a bullish move, because we are also within a high time frame decision point. So from there we saw that break of structure, we came back and we closed this imbalance that we created when we were making the break of structure. So we came back and closed that imbalance right there. So the first entry could have possibly been here at this imbalance, at the closure of this imbalance right there. So first entry right there, let me just quickly mark it up. First entry right there with the 3 pip SL. So as you all know, like, my standard stop loss is 5 pips, so you would have had enough room to extend it. So could have had it around here, which is still fine, or you can just leave it as it is. So fine. The buy which I took was after this move, when we broke the second structure there. So after breaking the structure, I'm just going to quickly zoom in so that you can see clearly. So after seeing this break of structure here, I then saw that a fresh demand level was here. So my buys were around 115,760, which was around here, and then my stops were around 115,742. Yeah, that's where my stops were. And basically my targets are from the high time frame, but ideally what you want to be doing is targeting where the retracement started from. You can easily target here, which is still a good target. It's around 1:6. So if you're risking 1%, this would have been 6% gain. So my primary target was at this high here, so I still have it at this level, which is around 1:18. So with a 1% risk, that's 18% gain. So the maximum targets being around this level, which we're gonna look at once we zoom out using the higher time frames. So let me just quickly copy this price level here and add it here to the profit level. So that's my final target, but my primary target is around here. This is where I'll be taking partials. So let's quickly go to the M15 just to give you a clearer view. So as you can see here, this is everything. That's the results of the DXY being bearish. So we had the equal highs on DXY, and then we had an imbalance above those equal highs, and also a fresh supply zone, which we would expect a sell-off once we trade above those equal highs. So we did that, and then on EurUsd we saw it trade into this demand level, and then we got this confirmed entry here on the M1. So the targets on DXY, as you recall, they were those equal lows. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep my targets open, and yeah, hopefully this was insightful. I'll see you on another one. Peace.